come along with me while we make these super cute mini treat buckets. We're going to take this mini ghost bucket and a foam ball. We're going to pop that down in there. And I'm going to take my glue gun and carefully put some hot glue around the inside edge so that the ball can glue up there. I'm going to take that hook tool and pull it up. Don't drop it. I'm going to make sure that dries. Just making sure it's in there really good. Then I'm going to take this little handy saw tool and cut off that top part there just to make it a little flatter. We're going to take this black air dry foam clay and just condition it really good. I'm going to make a little ball shape and then kind of flatten it out a bit, and I'm going to smooth that over the top of the foam. Just kind of thin it out a bit and just working that clay down. I'm just making these little areas that looks like the clay is kind of dripping down the side of the bucket. These handles are really short, so I just try and get them in place and they just kind of sink into the clay. They're not really important. You could technically cut them off, but I left them there. So I'm just going around, continuing to make that clay look like it's dripping down the sides, thinning it out and smoothing it up. And then I just take like the top and tip of my fingernail and go around and make those edges nice and clean, so that they look very cohesive and, you know, not messy or whatever. The layer of clay is pretty thin, so it doesn't take quite as long to dry as some air dry clay projects, but you do want to give it adequate time. I take these candies that I bought off Amazon and an Etsy shop, and that's what I'm going to use to fill the treat buckets. So I just use that hook tool and kind of make a hole in the clay and in the foam, and put a little hot glue down in the hole to make sure that those stick down in there really good. And then I just kind of strategically go around hot gluing those candy pieces all around, just kind of letting them lay in different ways and filling up the spaces so that it looks like the bucket is completely full of candy pieces. So you can get these candies from a lot of different places. I know Amazon has a lot of options. A lot of great small business shops on Etsy sell these. So you can shop around, but I will link the products in the description. You can really make this as full or whatever as you want. It's kind of a personal preference. I like mine super full. I'm just going to get those last few pieces glued on there. And we're going to make sure that dries really nicely before we do anything else. We're going to go in some with this Eileen's tacky glue and a paintbrush. Some of these great sprinkles. I got some of these from Glitz and Glue and some of them from Amazon. Got some chunky glitter. I kind of made my own mix on the plate. And then I just go in and put some glue on those spaces where it's just exposed clay and spread that glue out. I want to make sure that glue, it's a bit of a thick layer so that all those chunky sprinkles have some area to grab onto. And I just sprinkle them on there, trying to fill all those spaces. I use my finger to kind of tap them in to make sure that they're grabbing on. And then I do it on the other side of the bucket too, same exact way, just spreading that glue out. Not too thick, but a thick enough layer that, you know, there's enough glue for the candies and sprinkles and everything to grab. So doing the same thing, just sprinkling them generously, and I just kind of push them in to make sure all the space is covered. We're going to let that dry really good. And then we're going to go in with some Mod Podge and cover everything really nicely so that everything stays in place. It's got a nice protective layer. And that's it, y'all. You just want to make sure everything dries really nicely, and then they're ready to use. These are great for tiered trays, wreath attachments, centerpiece attachments. So there they are. I hope you enjoyed this. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe.